I have no such feelings as of yet. I'm pretty blank at this point of time. Uh, it felt really good, like a spring chicken out of the box. So I just felt like I was doing something new and went and enjoyed my game today. Felt a little bit scratchy today. Felt a little different. So I had to fight my way through a little bit. Started off pretty well, but then had to scratch a bit. So it was a bit scratchy today, to be very honest. I mean, you can't put a number onto something and say that's what it looked like. Definitely, from outside and whatever I played, it looked like it had something in it, and the bowlers exploited it pretty well. So yeah, maybe could have got a little bit more. You always want that little bit more in anything that you do. So I think we bowled pretty well to come back late in the end as well. So if we can knock off a few tomorrow morning, it'll be nice. Every place, even in Trent Bridge, I think it was pretty much like this. The wickets are seeming like it's pretty much similar, and the grass was not green or anything like that. So I think it was entirely up to team management as to what they were doing. But having said that, they bowled really well and exploited the conditions really well. Well, there have been such situations before when we play Ranji Trophy games. Bombay has been 0 for 5 and they've managed to win a Ranji Trophy from there. So pretty much that's where my motivation came from. Pretty disappointed that I threw it away at the end. Could have made more runs probably, and I have only myself to blame for that. If we had made a little bit more runs, we could have probably put more pressure on them. But still, if we get some conditions tomorrow morning and if we get a couple of wickets away, I think we are in the game, right in the mix. I'm just feeling it through. So it was a bit different day for me back at the game. So I was trying to feel myself in. I wanted to get my line and lengths right. I didn't want to give a lot away when I started. But I struck pretty good rhythm, so I thought, as I'm such a bowler, if I get 3-4 overs going pretty well, then I start toying around with my speeds, with my spin and the revolutions on the ball. So felt really comfortable towards the end of the spell, and was building up pretty well as well. I thought he batted brilliantly. It was a very gutsy knock. The ball was going around. The ball was actually kicking off a length as well. So you needed to be gutsy. When we got together, I mean, he asked me to play my game. He asked me to play the shots that I wanted to. So we pretty much thought that was the way to go, because hardly any runs on the board and wickets were falling. We didn't want to just be sitting ducks there. So I took on my game and we were rotating the strike. We were not giving many overs away in terms of maidens. So that was our plan, and it went alright. He was very gutsy today. He got it right in pockets of 2-2 or 3-3 overs when he was bowling. He bowled short spells. But when he got it right, he looked a handful, because it was looking like he was going to definitely nick Bell off. Definitely getting Gary Balance into a lot more trouble. He was not getting into good positions when he was playing Aaron. So he was bowling quick, he was bowling sharp. We just hope he gives carrying on and gives a 5 for tomorrow. That's how it's pretty much formatted. I mean, I'm getting into the first test, and the top 7 has been the same for the last 3 test matches, or probably Rohit getting in the last test match. So it's pretty much unsaid. So that's what I took it as.